Leadership is the ability to get extraordinary achievement from ordinary people. With this wonderful thought, a very good morning to all my dear students. I hope that you all are doing really well. I, Shreya Jadhav, welcome you all to my e learning channel. And today we are going to do English grade 11 supplementary reading 1, The Summer of Beautiful White Horse, written by William Saroyan. This is part 2 of chapter 1. So let us know something about the author. William Saroyan, born August 31, 1908, died May 18, 1981, was an American novelist, playwright, and short story writer. He was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 1940 and in 1943 won the Academy Award for Best Story for the film The Human Comedy. His best works are The Time of Your Life, My Name is Aram, and My Heart's in the Highlands. So now let us go through the introduction for answer. Dear students, whenever you write down for your exams, always remember to start your answers with introduction. This creates a really good impact. So prose name, The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse. Author's name, William Saroyan. Genre, short story. Summary. In the story, the narrator Aram is talking about the things that happened in his life when he was 9 years old. So now let us go through the summary of the chapter and a brief note on what we have done in the previous video. Chapter 1, The Summer of Beautiful White Horse. Murad and Aram were Armenian boys. They belonged to Garogalian tribe, which was known for its honesty, pride, and integrity since 11 centuries. They would never take advantage of anybody and would never steal. They were once very rich and had their own lands, but they lost everything due to the war. Now they were so poor that they had found it difficult to even buy food to eat. One morning, Murad brought a horse and took Aram to ride it. Aram's uncle, Khushro, was a big man with powerful head and black hair. He had the largest mustache in the village. However, he had a furious nature. He would roar at people and make them stop their talking. He was always short tempered and irritable. His crazy streak had been inherited by Aram's cousin Murad. He also had a passion and was crazy about horses and riding. Murad had hidden a farmer John Byro's horse in a deserted vineyard. He used to take the horse out for early morning rides. He was a wonderful rider. The horse would burst into fury of speed within no time with Murad on its back. Aram was rather a bad rider. He always fell off the horse when he rode alone. John Byro was a farmer. He was an Assyrian. He had learned to speak Armenian. He lived nearby. He came to tell the narrator's mother that his white horse had been stolen last month. It had remained untraced yet. He was very sad about it. He also told the family that he knew they had not taken the horse, as the Garoganian tribe was famous for their integrity and honesty. In the end, the pangs of conscience overpowered their boy's passion, and they didn't want to bring a bad name to their proud family. So they returned the horse to its true owner, John Biro. Now, in the beginning of the lesson, we have seen that this is a short story. So, in short story, we have limited characters. And this story is about two poor Armenian boys who belonged to a tribe and whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. One day, when Aram was in his deep sleep, someone knocked at his window. And when he opened and when he saw, Murad was there, and he was sitting on the horse. And at that time, it was very difficult for Aram to believe that he thought that he was dreaming. But eventually he came to know that his cousin Murad was actually sitting on a beautiful white horse. And Murad told Aram to make a quick move so that they could go for a ride. At that time duration, it was a bit difficult for him because he knew that there were two important things for him. First one, that they loved horses and they loved riding. Second thing, that they were poor. Now, they were so poor that it was next to impossible for them to buy or purchase a horse. So somehow, directly or indirectly, they have stolen it. Murad had stolen it. They didn't had any money with them. Their whole tribe was a poverty stricken. The whole branch of the tribe were suffering from the comical poverty in the world, and they believed that when their ancestors had really good handsome amount of money, but now they do not have anything, and they have become so poor that they even don't understand from where they get the food to eat, and not even the older men knew about it. Because of this thing, and moreover to that, their tribe was specifically famous for honesty for almost around, we can say, 11 centuries. They were considered as the wealthiest family. They were proud, they were honest, and they were the one who would not believe in right and wrong. And they would not harm anybody, and they would not take advantage of anybody, and would never let anyone steal. At that time duration, Aram thought that as they were poor enough, from where had Murad got this beautiful white horse? But consequently, he told that I have not stolen it, so not to worry. And Murad told to come and to have ride with him. And at that time duration, for a fraction of second, Aram also thought that they might have not stolen the horse. Why? Because still they haven't got its way with the horse, or we can say that they didn't went to sell the horse for money. So as they have not sold it to someone, this could not be considered as stealing. But still, they were really very excited for horse riding. They went for the horse riding, and eventually what happened, they went on the on the edge of the town, on the Walnut Avenue, where vineyards and orchards and irrigation ditches and country roads were all set. And less than 3 minutes, they reached to Olive Avenue also. Moreover to that, the horse was running wonderfully, and Murad was considered as one of the most craziest member of their family, because he started singing so loud, And over here, Aram is telling that he was not singing, he was actually roaring. And one of the other character has been highlighted over here, and that is their uncle Khushro. It has been said that Murad had got a trace of Uncle Khushro because he was also one of them who was very enjoyable person, who had an, no, we can say, an enormous man with powerful head with black hair and the largest mustache in Saint Joaquin Valley. Moreover to that, he was very furious in temper, he was irritable, and he was very impatient. And if someone would try to put forward their words, he would always roar and tell it is no harm and pay no attention to it. Moreover to that, one incident has been shared over here, that one day Uncle Khushro's home was on fire, but at that time also he told that nothing to worry, everything is going to be fine, pay no attention to it. So he was a person who was very carefree, we can say over here. Now it has been said that Murad was also considered a natural descendant of Uncle Khushro because some of the traces are same. They rode the horse with his cousin and they went to the old country where anybody knew them. And they ran the horse as long as the horse felt like running. At last, cousin Murad told Aram that he should get down because Murad wanted to ride the horse alone. And at that time duration, Aram also told that will he be given a permission to ride the horse alone. At that time, Murad told that it is up to your luck that if they are able to ride it or not. So Aram got down. Murad was very good at riding. Moreover to that, as soon as he kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, "Wazir, run!" The horse stood on its hind legs and snorted and burst into fury of speed. That was the loveliest thing that Aram had ever seen in his life. His cousin was really good at horse riding. He raced the horse across the field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch, crossed the ditch, and 5 minutes later they came back dripping wet. The sun was also up now, it was morning, and now it was Aram's turn to ride the horse. So this is what we have done in the previous video. So now let us go through the reading of the same. The sun was coming up. "Now it's my turn to ride," I said. My cousin Murad got off the horse. "Ride," he said. I leaped to the back of the horse and for a moment knew the most awful fear imaginable. The horse did not move. "Kicks into muscle," my cousin Murad said. "What are you waiting for? We have got to take him back before everybody in the world is up and about." I kicked into the muscles of the horse. Once again it reared and snorted. Then it began to run. I didn't know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Dikran Halibian, where it began to leap over vines. The horse leaped over 7 vines before I fell. Then it continued running. My cousin Murad came running down the road. "I'm not worried about you," he shouted. "We have got to get that horse. You go this way, I'll go this way. If you come upon him, be kindly. I'll be near." I continued down the road and my cousin Murad went across the field towards the irrigation ditch. It took him half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. All right, he said, jump on. The whole world is awake now. What will we do? I said. Well, he said, we will either take him back or hide him until tomorrow morning. He didn't sound worried, and I knew he had hide him, not take him back. Not for a while, at any rate. Where we will hide him, I said. I know a place, he said. How long ago did you steal this horse? I said. It suddenly dawned on me that he had been taking these early morning rides for some times and had come for me this morning only, because he knew how much I longed to ride. Who said anything about stealing a horse? He said. Anyhow, I said, how long ago did you begin riding every morning? So now, as it was Aram's turn, and he alone was sitting on the horse, but it was not possible for him to ride. And the horse became really very furious, and they jumped in the vineyard, and after 7 vineyard jump he fell, and the horse continued his running. And at that time his cousin Murad came and told him that he was not worried about him, but he was more worried about the horse, and he instructed to go and search for the horse. After half an hour of time, after searching him, somehow they found him. And then Murad informed him that now, as it is early in the morning, we are supposed to go back and hide him in a safe place. And at that time duration, Aram asked him that how long he had this horse, how long he had been stealing him. Murad told that he hadn't stolen the horse. And moreover to that, he knew a place where he could keep. But somehow Aram again asked him that how long did he begin riding every morning. And what was the answer? Let us see. Not until this morning, he said. Are you telling the truth? I said. Of course not, he said. But if we are found out, that's what you are to say. I don't want both of us to be liars. All you know is that we started riding this morning. All right, I said. He walked the horse quietly to the barn of a deserted vineyard, which at one time had been the pride of a farmer named Fatwajian. There were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. We began walking home. It wasn't easy, he said, to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first it wanted to run wild. But as I have told you, I have a way with a horse. I can get it to want to do anything I want it to do. Horses understand me. How do you do it? I said. I have an understanding with a horse, he said. Yes, but what sort of an understanding? I said. A simple and honest one, he said. Well, I said, I wish I knew how to reach an understanding like that with horse. You are still a small boy, he said. When you get to be 13, you will know how to do it. I went home and ate a breakfast heartily. So now eventually they both went to one of a deserted vineyard which belonged to a farmer, but presently it was vacant, and they kept the horse over there and they began walking home. And Murad is telling that it is not easy to have a hold and to make a horse behave so nicely. At first it was very difficult because he wanted to run wild, but then a training was supposed to be given to him, and Murad told that he has his way with horse, means he understands horses really very well. Aram is asking that how are you able to do it? And at that time, Murad is telling that we have a sort of understanding. Aram is also thinking that if he wished that he also had this sort of understanding, and at that time duration, Murad is telling that when Aram would also become 13 years old, he would also have his own way. They went home and they had their breakfast. That afternoon, my uncle Khusro came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor, sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byro, an Assyrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. My mother brought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. And then, at last, sighing sadly, he said, my white horse, which was stolen last month, is still gone. I can't understand it. My uncle Khusro became very irritated and shouted, it's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say, John Byro said. But what of my Surrey? What good is a Surrey without a horse? Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khusro roared. I walked 10 miles to get here, John Byro said. You have legs, my uncle Khusro shouted. So what happened? That afternoon, Uncle Khusro came to Aram's house for coffee and cigarette. He was sitting in the parlor, and at that time duration, another visitor arrived who was a farmer and whose name was John. He basically, out of loneliness, learned to speak Armenian. His mother gave the visitor coffee and tobacco. He rolled it into a cigarette and he smoked. And at that time duration, he was a bit sad, and he stated that previous month his horse was lost and he is unable to understand how to get it back. At that time duration, Uncle Khusro become very irritated, and he said that why are you crying on a loss of a horse? That is just a mere horse. We have lost all our wealth and you are only crying over a horse. At that time, the farmer John is also telling that it would be a small thing for you, but for me it was my everything, because he used it for his business. And he also told that he was walking 10 miles every day, and he came over here also walking 10 miles. So Uncle Khusro shouted, and he said aggressively, angrily, that you have got legs. What is a big deal? Pay no attention to it. My left leg pains me, the farmer said. Pay no attention to it, my Uncle Khusro roared. That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. I spit on money, Uncle Khusro said. He got up and stalked out of the house, slamming the screen door. My mother explained. He has a gentle heart, she said. It is simply that he is homesick, and such a large man. The farmer went away, and I ran over to my cousin Murad's house. He was sitting under a peach tree trying to repair the hurt wing of a young robin which could not fly. He was talking to the bird. What is it? He said. The farmer, John Byro, I said. He visited our house. He wants his horse. You had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. It will take a year to learn to ride, my cousin Murad said. We would keep a horse a year, I said. My cousin Murad leaped on his feet. What? He roared. Are you inviting a member to Garogalian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner. When? I said. In 6 months at the latest, he said. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away, high and straight. So now eventually what happened? The farmer, John, said that his left leg was paining and that horse cost him $60. So Uncle Khushro told that he would spit on the money, and this made him really very angry, and they just left from there. His mother told that no, he was a bit homesick and he was such a large man, so it was difficult for him to understand the situation. By that time duration, Aram ran to Murad's house and he was sitting under a peach tree. He was trying to repair a hurt wing of a young robin which could not fly. And Aram told that this beautiful white horse belonged to the farmer John, and you had that horse a month before. And Aram wanted him that he should promise that he would not return the horse until he would ride. So Murad told that it would take at least a year for you to learn how to ride. Then Aram told that okay, we'll keep the horse till there. Murad stood up, leaped on his feet, and he said that what are you telling? You are bringing a stolen thing to the family. So he said that at least we would keep it for 6 months. And then the bird was ready to fly. Early every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it and rode it. And every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapevines and small trees, threw me and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in time to learn to ride the way my cousin Murad rode. One morning, on my way to Fatwajian's deserted vineyard, we ran into farmer John Bairo, who was on his way to town. Let me do the talking, my cousin Murad said. I have a way with farmers. Good morning, John Bairo, my cousin Murad said to the farmer. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. So now what happened? Early every morning for 2 weeks, both of them would take the horse out of the barn of that deserted vineyard. They would ride, and every morning, whenever it was Aram's turn, it would always happen that he would fall and he would not be able to ride well. One day in the morning, when they were on the way to the deserted vineyard, they mistakenly encountered Farmer John, who was on his way to town, and they were having horse. At that time duration, Murad told that let him do the talking, and he told that he had a way with farmers also. When they met at that time, farmer studied the horse very eagerly because he knew that it was his horse. Good morning, son of my friends, he said. What is the name of your horse? My heart, my cousin Murad said in Armenian. A lovely name, John Bairo said, for a lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago. May I look into his mouth? Of course, Murad said. The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse. Tooth for tooth, he said. I could swear it is my horse if didn't knew your parents. The fame of your family for honesty is well known to me. Yet the horse is the twin of my horse. A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. Good day, my young friends. Good day, John Bairo, my cousin Murad said. Early the following morning, we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad. I thought they would bark. They would at somebody else, he said. I have a way with dogs. My cousin Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, petted it, and then we went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to our house in his surrey and showed my mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. I do not know what to think, he said. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered too. I thank God. My uncle Khushro, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted, Quiet, man, quiet. Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it. So, over here at the end, what happened? For John, the farmer, it was a bit difficult. He verified the horse and it was exactly like he had. But he thought that that could not be possible because from the tribe which he was belonging, that tribe was well known for its honesty and it was next to impossible to overcome that thing. So he thought that it would be the other same horse or a twin horse like it. Next day, early in the morning, they went to Farmer John's vineyard and they put the horse over there. And at that time, Murad was, we can say, really very near to him and he was a bit emotional. And that afternoon, the farmer came to Aram's house where his uncle and his mother both were sitting, and he was really very happy to announce that he had got back his horse and he thanked God for that thing. So Uncle Khushro shouted and he was irritated and he said that quiet man quiet, your horse has been returned, so pay no attention to it. So this is all about the chapter. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. If you have any doubt or queries, do comment in the comment section below. Goodbye everyone.